Western Europe is grappling with unseasonal heat. And while tourists in Spain and Portugal seem to be pleasantly surprised by the scorching weather on their vacations, locals are struggling. Droughts are jeopardizing crops and creating greater risk for wildfires, as some residents struggle just to get drinking water. It's hot in Spain. Spain's southern city of Cordoba is set to experience another day of scorching heat after breaking the mainland record for this time of year yesterday, with temperatures reaching 38.8 degrees Celsius.
It is very hot. Compared to Holland, in Holland it's about less than 15 degrees centigrade. It's more than 36 here in Cordoba.
Walk in the shade. Eat ice cream, drink a lot of water.
Yes, same. We're here, this is our first day in Cordoba, and we're trying to stick to the shade when we're out walking about, and really a lot of water and sangria.
Oh yes, sangria.
The country has been braving unseasonably hot weather that has exacerbated a long drought. A truck has been delivering drinking water for over a week to about 80,000 people because their local reservoir has dried out and the water in the alternative dam is unsuitable for human consumption. It's the first time in 40 years that a reservoir in Cordoba has dried out. To deal with the water shortage, local authorities are providing each resident with 5 liters of drinking water per day from trucks that deliver the liquid to affected villages. Most people trying to get more on the same day so that they don't need to return every day. Residents afraid this situation will be prolonged through the summer when they fear their taps will run completely dry. Residents feel helpless. Spain has had 36 consecutive months of below average rainfall. Reservoirs are on average at 50% of their capacity, much worse in some areas. Meanwhile, in neighboring Portugal, tourists in Lisbon are enjoying the heat.
We're not from Portugal, so we didn't know what the weather would be. We do love it, but it's really early and it's really hot.
Yeah, too hot for
you? No, it's not too hot for us, but we're here on holiday, so that's different.
No, we thought it would be a bit more mild. It's really nice, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pleasant surprise.
Isn't it too hot?
Yeah, probably, but it's okay.
It's hot. We're from Canada, though, so this is a nice little, hot break for us.
Yeah, it's raining at home, so we'll take this.
Some regions of mainland Portugal may reach 37 degrees. If it does, a 78-year-old record will be broken. Soaring temperatures in Portugal have forced authorities to place 3 municipalities in the sunny southern region of the Algarve at maximum risk of wildfires amid high temperatures. The good news, the heat sweeping Western Europe is expected to subside soon, with cooler temperatures predicted for the weekend. Joining us now is Dr. Samantha Green, President-elect of the Canadian Association of Physicians for the Environment, who is an expert on how climate change impacts human health. Doctor, we see communities in Spain struggling to get access to drinking water as their reservoirs have gone dry for the first time in 40 years. Do you think this extreme heat will get worse every year, and how will this affect people?
Yeah, unfortunately, this extreme heat will get worse every year. Currently, we're sitting at about 1.2 degrees of warming, and over the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to definitely hit 1.5 degrees of warming. And then the question is, what happens after that? So the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has said that we must take action immediately and nearly halve emissions by 2030 to have a chance at really a livable world. But unfortunately, there is this heat that's baked in. Even if we were to take that action today, this heat is baked in. And so what that means is in the greater Toronto Hamilton area, we're going to see a more than doubling of extreme heat days in the next 10 to 20 years. Heat has a direct impact, especially on the elderly, small children, and anyone who has a chronic medical condition through heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And true heat stroke actually has a 50% mortality rate, so it's quite serious. And it can affect younger people, especially if they're outdoors and being active. And heat also exacerbates common chronic conditions like asthma, heart disease, diabetes, even mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. We actually see an increase in suicide attempts during extreme heat. We see sometimes adverse pregnancy outcomes like low birth weight. So there are a huge range of impacts. And those impacts are disproportionately seen by, more vulnerable populations.
In recent years, what has been the most concerning to you when it comes to climate change?
I mean, that's a big question. So I'm worried. We need to do two major things in all levels of government, in all of our communities. We need to both reduce emissions. So that means we need to stop burning fossil fuels today, and we need to adapt because this warming is already happening, and we're already seeing its impacts. We've had extreme heat events in Canada, and we will see more. And so, we need to immediately put all of our effort into this to stop our dependence on fossil fuels, stop burning fossil fuels, and also learn how we can better adapt. So put plans in place for dealing with this heat, for example.
Do you think the government of Canada is on the right track when it comes to combating climate change?
Yeah, we all need to do more, and that includes the Canadian federal government. I was happy to see that they now have a national adaptation strategy, so we're making some inroads. But, we are still extracting oil and gas, and we don't have plans to stop. And that's been very clear from all the experts. We must stop. And the experts have all said worldwide, globally, even like the international energy experts have said no more new fossil fuel infrastructure. And yet our federal government is investing in new fossil fuel infrastructure. So, that's not a roadmap to a livable future.
Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Samantha Green.
Thank you.